Hello, Serge here from the side tee at Orange County National, and with me here is Tom Lineberger, one of our certified professionals from just outside Orlando, Florida. Tom, say hello to the gang and tell them exactly where you're at and where they can reach you.
I'm at the Arlington Ridge Golf Club in Leesburg, Florida. Work for the Arnold Palmer Management Group, doing player development. It's about 15 or 20 minutes from the Villages.
Great. So that's from here where we are at Orange County National. It's only, what, 45 minutes or something?
About 45 minutes.
Yeah, so he's basically Central Florida. Well, Tom's over here at Orange County with me right now because we're doing our first golf school here in Orange County this year. And so I guess the number one thing we have to report on day one is how was the alignment? Tom?
So we've got the best of the worst, as we called it so far.
So by best we mean they're the least improperly aimed that we've had in a long time, but all three, we got a small school there, a bunch of really good guys. One's actually from London, and they were all right-handers, and they were all aimed roughly about 20-25 yards right. And so normally we got somebody always in the 50-60 yard range. So overall they were a little bit better, and they all had basically pretty good swings, but every one of them had real issues with their swing in terms of they were all basically pretty good at three-quarters, but they as much as they all thought they were preloaded heavy right, we had most of them sort of like this, and 2 out of the 3 were doing a great job of taking the club back and reverse tilting, and the back leg was locking up. Yeah. And so we had to really get them back over to preloaded heavy right, so that now they get the weight on the leg and they just stay there and swing and load the right side and swing through. And but again, they were all active members of the site. All been with the site at least 2 years, and so they've been getting the dailies, and all of them had bought videos and stuff. So they were pretty deep into the swing. They knew the terminology, and they were actually doing a pretty darn good job of making the surge swing. But we just were get them what we had to get them really set up well, because the setup determines the motion, and then once you get the good setup, then you can make the motion. And
they excelled on the putting too. Putting, they did real well.
Yeah, we did a little bit of putting, but the big thing is that as I said, alignment is the #1 killer, and because that makes, once alignment's off, everything's into compensations. And so we really did a great job with them of the first day's basically pretty much just all irons. We got them up to a little bit longer irons, and then day 2 will be really the big putting test and doing some more short game. So as I said, we got a good group, and they're all hitting the ball pretty darn much better today, without a doubt. But the big test will be tomorrow, because part of tomorrow will be, and day 2 will definitely be taking them up to doing some woods, starting with some fairway, some hybrids and fairways. But again, it's a real treat to come here and see some guys that are in really overall pretty good shape with doing a peak performance swing. The setups were off, and that's where the big hiccups were coming. And I'm pretty sure one of them, without a doubt, I totally recommend that he needed a whole new set of clubs. They were too long for him, too upright, and yet he was still doing a halfway decent job, and we were making him do with him choking down about an inch and a half. And another one did have pretty good fitted clubs, because he had been fitted by one of our fitters here in Central Florida when he came here last year for a trip from the guy from London. So
they've all become best friends too, just in a short time.
Yeah, they are. I mean, naturally, we have breakfast and lunch together, and they're on the all package, which we also go out to dinner with them. So we're pretty much spending 12 hours a day with them, and so they're pretty good friends. And right after today, when we finished today's lessons and work on the range, we went in and dropped them off, and the next thing you know, we were up in the clubhouse getting something to drink before we came back here, and they all walked in the clubhouse to have, I guess, a libation before dinner. So I guess they're making new friends, and I guess that's what it's all about. Why we play golf, for the challenge and the camaraderie, and so they're making new friends, and that's great, as you and I are making good friends. So again, we'll come back with our report tomorrow. But as I said, we're still batting 0 on alignment. But once we get that straight and get the setup going, we're making some happy campers here with our guys, and hopefully we'll talk to them, and maybe on day 3 they'll come back and we can introduce you to them and get some thoughts about what's happened to them and what they did and what they expect, where the game's going to go. So Tom, I'll be seeing you tomorrow. We'll be working with the guys, and we'll come back with a newscast for tomorrow. So for Tom and the Serge here at Orange County National in Orlando, Florida, that's it for today, and we'll be talking to y'all again soon.